Welcome to the world of Q&Asa, where the past, present, and future of gaming would love to converge, but haven't been able to because I've been completely oblivious to what's going on in the world for the last couple of weeks, which means this is going to be a special edition, extra short, I don't know what I'm talking about, kind of Q&Asa, but it was an important one. It was an important one to do because I need to find and apologise to Joe. He's not here yet. I hope he turns up. I owe Joe from our Discord an apology, which I'll get into if he turns up, and if he doesn't, maybe I'll tell you about it later. If you follow this stuff closely, you might already know what I need to apologise to Joe about. You're still cooking, Chronic, that's a good thing. Cooking can be fun, it can be therapeutic. I like to cook with cooking wine, which is just regular wine, but I use cooking as an excuse to drink it in the evenings. Yeah, cooking can be good. So don't worry, Chronic. I'll try not to be too interesting. You won't miss very much if you're busy. Let's, yes, Demon Hunter, it is the Ascent in the background. Yet another game on the list of games that I finished because the Ascent's really good, actually. I enjoyed it a lot. May still have it installed because I did want to do the Cyber Heist DLC that came out for it at some point, which I think is post-campaign DLC. So in theory, I could go on it and play that, and it might be good fun. Demon Hunter, have you played? Yes, finished, Dave Mack. Finished entirely. Did the end of the game in that way that I typically do with games. Demon Hunter, did you play Deadlock yet? I know I haven't got as far as downloading and launching it, so I don't actually know what it asks you to do in terms of... I know you can't stream it, but I don't know if you're supposed to avoid talking about it. So you tell me if you're not allowed to talk about it. Yes, I will play Starfield again. I actually intend to do that one quite soon. I've got a list of like those kind of pillar core giant games that demand care and attention and proper attention to actually focus on and actually get through in their entirety. I'm doing Cyberpunk at the moment, and after that got a choice between Red Dead Redemption 2, Starfield, and Dragon's Dogma. I think those were the ones that I was going to go between. But lots of smaller games to play along the way as well. So Coffee looks really weak and pathetic. You look really strong and impressive. So I can see how this coffee would irk you, Dave. It is the opposite. A lot of big games to play. I didn't get very far in Starfield when I played it the first time. Partly because I shot a guard with a laser and got banished from the main city at the start of the game. So I ran around on a fairly dull planet for a long time, unable to do very much, but I will go back to it. You're making soup, that's good. Joe, yes, Joe's come for the apology. Right, one of the games, see, I should have spoken about this last week, but I didn't do Q&Asa last week. One of the games that I finished recently, Dave Mack, one of the games that I finished recently was Doom Eternal. And in prior weeks while I was playing it, Joe came along and said that all the colour matching irked him. And I was like, Joe, there's no colour matching in Doom Eternal. What on earth are you talking about? And then a couple of weeks ago, I gave him like a hint of a consideration of an apology when there were some almost colour matching sections. There were some things that you could attribute to it. You could understand what Joe was getting at, even though I still wasn't going to concede that was what was happening. But in the Ancient Gods Part 2, so the second DLC of Doom Eternal, you get the green-eyed guys that you have to wait for their eyes to flash green and then shoot them. Those guys are arseholes and I hate them. But you also get... there's blue ghosts that you have to use a particular mod on the plasma rifle to make them explode. There's little green demon guys who you have to blood punch. There's purple demons who you're not supposed to shoot. There's grey gargoyle demons who you have to use the combat shotgun's burst fire mod to kill. Is that all of them? That might be all of them. That's close enough to colour matching. That's close enough to having to counter particular demons with particular weapons based on the colour that they are. So Joe, you were right. Absolutely. Doom Eternal has some colour matching nonsense, which is not particularly enjoyable in the moment. So Oh, and of course the ones with the red glows that you're supposed to like find a totem or whatever before you kill them, that kind of stuff. So actually quite a bit of color matching. Matthew, I'm sorry, I'm saying that completely wrong, I'm sure. I'm not playing Concord. I had Concord half downloaded. I purchased Concord to support the developer for giving me that kind of shooting game and not going the microtransactions route and not filling it with battle passes and stuff. I thought, yeah, I'd rather games did that more often, so I'll give it a go. But then I couldn't do it. I didn't enjoy Concord when I did play it, so I figured I'm being an idiot. Why am I doing this? I'm going to play it for 5 minutes at most. I'm going to hate it because I don't know anyone that's playing it, so I've got no one to play it with. So I requested a refund. Cheeky little thing though. The refund hasn't been immediately approved, so Steam has really good refund policies in general. In that if you haven't played a game for 2 hours, you just get a refund, no questions asked. But because Concord recorded the time I spent on the beta as playtime, it says that I played it over 2 weeks ago. So they need to like manually approve the refund. So I haven't actually had the refund yet. I've requested it and I suspect I will get it because I've not even got as far as downloading yet. But yeah, I'm not playing Concord. I'm not like, it's not really my kind of game. I don't do the hero shooters very much, so I wish for them that it was doing better than it is. I don't have like a massive problem with the game. I don't mind that they're trying to charge for it, but it's obviously not working. It's obviously a disaster of a launch for them, so bit of a shame. It stole Redfall's crown. It's not stolen Redfall's crown because Redfall was a mess. If you played it and downloaded it, it didn't do what people expected it to do. Whereas Concord is entirely functional as far as I'm aware. It's just flopped. I'm not sure Redfall flopped. Numbers wise, I think Redfall probably like had a reasonable amount of people at least try it on Game Pass, right? So why return it? It's Game of the Year. I returned it because you don't have it, Dave Mack. I bought it to play with you. So I'm going to play Concord with Dave Mack and it's going to be so much fun. But then I heard you talking about it and I was like, no, I'm not going to play Concord with Dave Mack, am I? I was sold this on a lie. So I had to refund it. 6k, you think? Yeah, but player numbers wasn't Redfall's massive failing though, Chronic. Like 6k is quite low, but if you look at the Game Pass numbers and the Xbox numbers, I'm sure plenty of people did try Redfall. I tried Redfall, you tried Redfall, Demon Hunter tried Redfall, loads of people here tried Redfall. Redfall's crown was being a bit of a disaster of a game in terms of crashes and bugs in AI and stuff like that. And I think Concord, I'm not playing it, so I don't know for sure, but I assume it's functional, I assume it works, I assume it does what it set out to do, it just doesn't have people. Obviously what it sets out to do is what an awful lot of other games already do. Arguably better, or at least as well. So, difficult thing to charge money for, right? But we all know that, we've all been over Concord. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I've been playing. That's getting straight into how the show normally works. So what have you all been playing? And has Joe, please accept my apology. When Steam is on the next Microsoft Xbox hardware, that means we can play Pony PlayStation games. That's like... a misfire on that one. I'm a PC person anyway, so I've got a PC and an Xbox and a PlayStation, so I don't have issues with access to those games. But Steam being on Xbox is still a head scratcher. I know there's quite strong speculation for that kind of thing, but still seems a weird approach. A weird approach to owning a platform as Microsoft do. You're just messing, so that like you're not actually holding Pony and PlayStation in your vocabulary for serious discourse. That's a relief. That's a relief. Thankfully, because you're hoping you can finish Atomic Heart before the 31st. So Atomic Heart is on my list of games to play in VR. I can't be able to play it. Pancake. I would like to go through. Atomic Heart's supposed to be like a perfect flat to VR game. Essentially, or as close to perfect as you can get for a simple mod like that. In that all the shooting works, all the movement works. You can get through the entirety of it without trouble. Chronic, that's not defending Redfall, it was meh, but you agree with Gaming with Passion. Wait, who's agreeing with what? What did Gaming with Passion say? So Blem Blem, for those that don't know, means Fire Emblem. Ida is playing Fire Emblem on the 3DS, I think. Which is neat. That's a thing I could potentially do in my lunch breaks at the moment. Don't have a 3DS, so it's not, but you know. Kind of game I used to be for years and years. I'd say I don't play games on portable devices. That could change now that my circumstances have changed. Coffee's giving you anxiety issues. What makes you think it's coffee, Dave? It could be poorly made hot chocolate. It could be that it's just a lighting issue, and actually this is the darkest, strongest coffee that you've ever dared laid eyes. Fucking who put words out? Not me very well. Fire Emblem Awakening, yes. I'm still not sold on Fire Emblem based on the one that I did play. Like, it's alright, but it's only alright. Go back to tea. I try and go between all of the beverages, right? I have tea sometimes. Now you're getting freaked the fuck out. Damn straight. Tell me more stuff. Tell me what you've been playing. I've obviously I've been playing World of Warcraft because I was doing that right before this show. The War Within expansion pack is out now, or more or less out now. It comes out on the 26th, but the early access is out now, and for some reason I have that. I don't know why I have that. I can't remember when I bought that. I don't know what I was thinking, what was going through my head, but I felt like getting it, so I got it. And for that reason, I figured I'd best make use of it and play it at some point during these 3 days. So I did for an hour and a half or so today, and it was amazing, and everybody had a brilliant time. Everybody watching the stream went out and bought World of Warcraft because they could see how much fun I was having. You're playing Sekiro. Are you actually good at this kind of game? Can you do Sekiro? Because I saw you struggling, you know, not to like embarrass you live on the internet, but I saw you struggling a bit with Black Myth Wukong. But I know you've done all of Elden Ring and you've done the DLC that was supposed to be quite difficult, so I'm assuming you're actually pretty good at this kind of game. Tell me how you're finding Sekiro. Joe's accepted my apology. He's just trying to get a baby to sleep. Okay, good. Good. Didn't actually know you had a baby or child of get to sleep age, Joe. Good to know, though. Good to know all the little details about everything. You can play Eternal again because yeah, the whole game contained colour shade. No, it does. It really picks up in the Ancient Gods Part 2. Not struggling, you were tired. You got stuck in a bell tower, Dave. That counts as struggling. You played Nobody Wants to Die in AC Mirage. Tell me about them, Joe. And like Asheron's cool. Assassin's Creed, you're not going to get me on, but Nobody Wants to Die, I'm interested. And how can you play Starfield and Cyberpunk at the same time? And Hitman. Hitman's bloody massive as well. All big games. Isle of Three Houses is not representative from what you've seen. Have you not played Three Houses yet? You were trying to finish that Awakening one first. Abdel, how's it going? What have you been playing besides Call of Duty? Sekiro is stealthy. Not my kind of game. It's not that stealthy. From what I played of Sekiro, which is very little, the stealth in that didn't upset me. It wasn't the kind of like, you know, oh, you got detected, do this bit again. It was okay. You tried to play Three Houses today, but Kira's playing it forever, apparently. Okay. And that's why you've gone back to Awakening. Baldur's Gate 3, best game ever. Ansem Wukong. How far through Baldur's Gate 3 are you? You're on school holidays and a football season break. Yeah, loads of time for the games then. Does that mean that you're a kid? Do you go to school, or are you a teacher or like school staff of some kind? Chronic is playing nothing. Dave Mack, I've heard these accusations. I know that he's backseated Saitama playing Slay the Princess, which I'm going to get to soon. Slay the Princess looked quite funny. I've got a couple of those kind of like light, funnier games to stream in the near future. Sekiro has 2 very small stealth sections. The rest of the game you can do what you want. 14. I'm going to watch my language. Nobody Wants to Die is interesting technically, if not a little boring. You think you're going to finish it? It's only... Oh, it's 6 hours if you're a pro, which means it's probably 5 hours for me because, you know, pros aren't on my level. So yeah, I'll get through it well quick. Maybe. Just, you know. Happy weekend, is it, Deadly Headley? I hope so. There's still time. It's going alright so far. Today has not been that bad. Today has not been that bad at all. I hope you're doing well. Have you got any of your interesting games with friends plans? Abdo, you love Three Houses. Top 3 favourite Switch games. It's in my top 3 favourite Switch games because I've only played 2 Switch games. Have I played 2 Switch games? Or is it the only Switch game that I've played? It might be my favourite Switch game. You can see Hangle. Yeah, probably somewhere. It was scattered around in the Ascent for reasons unknown. Yeah, so Three Houses, favourite Switch game at the moment. I do intend to play some more at some point. I played a little bit of Mario Kart, didn't I? But no, I like Three Houses more than that, probably. It's just, I'm not going to make this a Three Houses deep dive, actually. You picked up Sackboy's Adventure to play with Mrs. Deadly this weekend. I'm curious about that one. I don't typically do many platformers, but it was supposed to be quite good with its musical levels and stuff. Some Mario Kart. You can't play Call of Duty. It's rated 18. You're not allowed to look forward to it. Stalker 2 will be rated 18 as well. You're only allowed to play Mario. And that's it. Just Mario. See, I was really disappointed with those choices, Abdel. I was really disappointed that the character I killed still appeared in cutscenes as well. Minecraft is a Switch game, or Minecraft is the game that you're playing at the moment. You're going to drop Mirage. Mirage isn't supposed to be like overly bloated, massive Ubisoft style, though, is it? The Star Wars. Oh, does that Star Wars come? It comes out on Tuesday. I'm not enthusiastic about it whatsoever. Even if it like comes out and bangs out these 98 scores or whatever, I'm just like, might play it at some point. And I've got Ubisoft Plus whatever it is, so I will have that game if I can be asked to download it. But it's not ahead of Cyberpunk and Starfield in terms of things I want to play, and Red Dead Redemption 2. So, give you the power. Can we ban Demon Hunter on the Discord for an hour? What's he done? No, I know it's fine that your mum pays for these games. That don't mean that you're old enough to play them. But no, I don't actually care. You're allowed to play them. Don't get me wrong. Hinterberg, Joe. Demon Hunter loves Dungeons of Hinterberg. I was watching him on Discord yesterday, and he flirted with Klaus for 2 days straight. And it was not entertaining to watch, I'll be honest. It was not entertaining to watch. Because Klaus talks with this stupid little, like, sequential bubbles noise. All of the characters do. What's happening after the show? I don't know, episode 13. And that's also a good question, Deadly Headley. I've not figured out games. We could... Well, there will be some games, don't get me wrong. There'll be some. This is that top-down game. Yes, episode 13. It is. It is. Demon is a very strange guy. Absolutely. Most people are, like, the good ones anyway. It's not going to be Call of Duty and Forza Horizon 5 because we did those last weekend and I need a bit of, like, variety in my life. And I'm not saying neither of those games will be involved, maybe something will, but we'll discuss it on the Discord. I'll try and give you some sort of notice beforehand. There is also the potential for some kind of games to happen today if people want to. I'm quite open to playing something. Halo and MD. Oh, Motorsport. Nah, I don't know if there will be Forza this week. There might. I could be persuaded. You know, I'm easily led. Demon Hunter, you want some games today? Of course you do. Reliable Demon Hunter is always up for some games. Chronic, you want to ban him from streaming, but Mafia was alright. And yeah. Who's that arsehole that kept ruining you in Forza when you were off mic last week? That was probably Dave Mack. He was having an aggressive one. Yeah. Can we play games tonight if they aren't on a Sunday? We can play. Like I say, I'm a sucker for the peer pressure, the community peer pressure. So when people want to play things, those things can happen. You streamed Half-Life, Alex. Demon Hunter, you're a monster. I am banning you from streaming if you're going to rub the VR in my face. It's just cruel. You've had a few beers, so you might not even make it. Alright, fair enough. I'm drinking this just to upset Dave. Good. What sounds good? I can't even remember what I've said. You see violence every day on the phone and your older brother keeps an eye on you. It's all good. I'm not parenting you. I barely parent my own kids. I'm not going to parent other people's. You don't need to justify yourself to me. I don't know what I'm talking about, actually. I told you this was a really short show. I've got nothing planned for it. Because obviously this week has actually quite a lot going on. There's been all of the Gamescom stuff, and I don't think I've done talking about stuff after the VR showcase either, because it's a raw, touchy subject. Yeah, it will be short. Definitely going to be short. No, I see episode 13. I can see why you would think that. Like, why from your perspective you feel like you've come in here and totally derailed the show. But actually the show was not on the rails from the start. So other people can assure you that you haven't thrown it off completely. It's just been a little bit like it. A little bit like this all day since the start. So yeah, Doom Eternal, that's what I was talking about. It's really, really good. The last level of Doom Eternal, so I finished Doom Eternal and it popped up the end. Achievement unlocked for finishing the game. Very simple achievement. Rare achievement, 0.47 or 0.43, something like that. Players have achieved this, have finished the game, have actually played Doom Eternal and got through to the end of the second DLC. Second DLC being the dramatic conclusion to the entirety of the Doom saga, and actually quite significant to the game if you care for the lore that it's telling. And it does. You might think that Doom doesn't have lore because it's Doom, it's been around forever, it's just that classic simple run around killing demons game, but actually they tried pretty hard on the lore and they did a decent job of it. There's a lot going on in there, so much so that I even read some of the lore codex. And yeah, it finishes, it concludes there. But I said a couple of weeks ago when I was doing this show, I said that the Ancient Gods Part 1 kind of irked me a little bit compared to the base game. I enjoyed Doom Eternal, not as much as 2016, but I enjoyed Doom Eternal. But the Ancient Gods just pushed everything a little bit too far and too long. So all of the encounters in that were... that's because nobody plays the game. That's because nobody plays the game. Wait. That doesn't make sense, Dave. I'll come back to it. So, Ancient Gods, yeah, all of the encounters, they last a little bit too long. They're kind of like mini arena based. You progress through the level a bit, you hit an arena, and you get escalating waves of difficulty through it. And they just went on one or two waves too long, to the point that actually, if you did die, it didn't feel fun in that moment because it set you back too far. And they were like, this is just long enough. The concentration is becoming an issue. Comfort is becoming a little bit of an issue. I need these to be a little bit shorter. And they seem to take that on board though. I'm sure they got that feedback from lots of other people, because part 2 is not like that. Part 2 sorts the pacing out and brings it back to where it was. It introduces a lot of Joe's color-coded demons and enemies and stuff, which is a bit nonsense, but it's fine on the length and the flow of the game, and progressing through it is nice and easy. It does kind of mock me. There's a particular demon in Doom Eternal, the guy with the flashing green eyes, and he's a dick to fight. The final boss of Doom Eternal is just like a bigger version of him, essentially, mechanically. So that was a bit of a piss take, but wasn't actually problematic. It was quite fun. So that's Doom Eternal. I played it, I enjoyed it, but the last level of Doom Eternal is like presentation wise, it gives the good years of Halo a run for their money. You know the good years of Halo when you emerge on a beach and there's like the Covenant and they're fighting the Flood. You don't emerge on a beach and find this isn't a real Halo game, but you get what I'm saying. You just get this massive like set piece of a war going on between Covenant and Flood, or whatever other factions are there, the ODST and whatever else. And there's plasma firing everywhere and it just looks cool, and you're the Master Chief and you walk in there and blast everything and it's fun. Doom Eternal's last level does that kind of scale for no reason whatsoever. It just feels like it. It does that kind of scale, and you're the Grizzly Chief and you just go in there and blow shit up and it's fun. Yeah, 0.43, 0.47% of the people that played Doom Eternal played that, which Dave Mack, you're saying it's because people don't play that game. That's the bit that I don't get. The reason that the percentage is so low is because so many people did try that game, right? Which is going to be the whole Game Pass thing. Whole load of people played it. Far less people played through the DLC. And it's a shame because they put a lot of effort into that DLC, a lot of effort into wrapping up the story. Everybody, go and play Doom Eternal. Yeah, it's a good game. Soup is hot. Yes, it does start that way. If not, you've done it wrong. PlayStation 1 game Echo Knight. What's that? Painful Discourse? I've never heard of Echo Knight. Is Mio Mini an emulator or like a handheld device? Kratos, welcome. What is my graphics card? My graphics card is a large piece of meat. I have a 4090, so I can play things at their fullest, I suppose. So Painful Discourse, you've got a guest that's sleeping over in the same room where the Xbox is, so no community game night for you today. Kick the guest out. Kick the guest out. They're not the boss. I hate actually Chronic mentioning that I've got a luxury item like that. Yeah, no, I'm not one to like hardware flex if I can help it, but I have an awful lot of fancy stuff from a couple of years ago, mostly when I was able to get an awful lot of fancy stuff and when I had good reasons to get a lot of fancy stuff. It's a very good card for like content creation and stuff like that, as well as obviously being good for games. So I justified it to myself. No, Joe's got a 4091. Freaking outrageous. Got two choices. I can try and get something higher than 4091, or I can find a way to sabotage Joe. Entertaining watching the squirm. Yeah. Well, I'm glad you were entertained by that, Chronic. That's 4091 Super. Stop it. I'm gonna break you or your card. I have to have the best one. It's good. I do, I want whatever comes next. I can't help it. That's just part of the hobby. I always want. Calls you a console peasant. See, that's the stuff that I don't like. Obviously, I'm assuming your brother is saying it nicely and just having a little bit of fun, but I see no reason to piss on other people's fun. No reason to try and be really vocal about how somebody else's experiences is subpar or whatever else, and you see an awful lot of it. Like, I saw a lot more of it when I had Twitter. Fortunately for me, I'm distant from that now, so I don't see it. But I do know there's been various conversations around Avowed this week, isn't there? Lots of people kicking and screaming that Avowed is going to be 30 frames per second on the Xbox. predominantly people that aren't actually playing it on the Xbox that are super concerned about this. It's some of you here, isn't it? That's some of you here. Very concerned on other people's behalf. But yeah. Games look much better on PC. They sure can. PC can be much more expensive and can do a lot more in that sense, but you know. Subpar is also very relative if you don't care about super high frames or graphics settings. Exactly, Pikunagi, it certainly is. And in some regards, I envy the people that really don't care. I've grown up with this stuff and followed the technology very closely and am very familiar with what I see on screen and do care. But, like, my wife and both my kids, they don't give a shit. They'll play on anything. They'll play on a Series S and they don't mind at all. I remember when Power World came out, my wife was playing it on the Xbox One X, and the last gen version of that game was it was atrocious. It was a shock on the eyes to look at it, because most of the like, the resources and materials in that game, they just didn't apply any kind of textures on the previous gen version. So she'd be running around at like 12 frames per second looking at these weird slime blob rocks that were vaguely a color that you could identify to be ore or whatever, and she didn't care. She was having fun with the game, and that's like good for you if you enjoy that stuff. Oh. Is this the official Hunt Showdown fan club? Connor, it's the closest thing that you're gonna find to an official Hunt Showdown fan club. That's not true. It's second to your YouTube channel. Your YouTube channel is the closest thing. Actually, I haven't played it, Connor. I can't remember if I said it's a download or not. I told you that I would. Told you that we would play it at some point. James, don't apologize for being late. Come on now. Come on now. It's fine. But this is like the end of the show. You've come in right at the end. Because we've gone over all the topics. We've actually not been over a single topic. Cyberpunk. I've been playing a lot of Cyberpunk. Not a lot of Cyberpunk. Dave, don't get mad at me for saying I've been playing Cyberpunk and not streaming it, alright? It's been a little bit of Cyberpunk. Played it like twice. Naked. So I couldn't stream it. Don't be all mad at me for playing Cyberpunk. That's good fun. I like Cyberpunk. There's so many scenes in Cyberpunk, like this scene in the Ascent that I've got behind me at the moment. I don't know why I'm pointing over there, that means nothing to you, but it's behind me, right? This scene at the bar in the Ascent. The Ascent is a very photogenic game, and you can go and capture lots of scenes that I could use as backgrounds for this show. Cyberpunk is full of places that are like, I should record this, it would make a good background. I haven't done it because I can't be asked. That's not true, I can be asked. I don't have much time putting the backgrounds together, but Cyberpunk is full of them. It is a treat to run through, and this is one of those things that's unusual, because everywhere that I've been going in Cyberpunk over the past few days or whatever, everywhere that I've stopped and gone, wow, this looks really good, I could record this. Every one of those places was in the game at launch when the game was bad, you know, when it wasn't ready, when it was disastrously buggy, still had a certain amount of quality to it. So it's a weird one. Fine line between a good game and a bad game sometimes. Don't even speak to you, talk to the hand. Dave Mack, I told you I'll stream it soon. I will stream it soon. Yeah, so that's what else I've been doing. Can you people please give me your highlights from Gamescom? That's important. It's not... Important's the wrong word. Like, if I felt that it was important, I would have watched these things as they happened or after they happened in the way that I normally do. And I haven't felt like it at all, because I'm just not feeling short on games. I don't need new ones marketed to me. Like, I like these events. I understand following the industry really closely, but at the same time I was like, it's like walking through a market where people are trying to sell you things that you don't want. I'm like, no, I've got Cyberpunk and Starfield and Red Dead Redemption 2 to play, and Dragon's Dogma 2. Stop trying to sell me on games that are coming out next year. I'm not ready. So I couldn't follow it that closely. Just couldn't find it. Also, I was just in a miserable mood for the last week. so I just couldn't find like a spark of excitement to focus on this stuff, and I just ignored it entirely. But now I'm not in such a miserable mood, and I need you to tell me what was good on Gamescom. What have I missed? What should I be excited about? Dune and Star Wars. Let's find the Dune trailer. Like I said about Star Wars, I can't... I've just drowned on Star Wars stuff. There's too much of it, and it's very rarely actually good. So I'm going to ignore that one for the moment. And I'm going to find Dune. What's the Dune game called? I know the one you mean. It's the one from the Conan developers, isn't it? Funcom or whatever. And it's like a survival MMO, but I can't remember the name of it. Hunt Showdown, the sequel to Redfall. Yeah. Sonic and Shadow was there. What, at Gamescom? Interesting. Your highlight of Gamescom. Choosing not to watch any of the bullshit and deciding to play Hunt Showdown instead. You are right into that at the moment, aren't you? When you play that solo, Connor, are the other people that you're against playing solo as well? Is it like an actual solo mode? Or are you just taking on teams of 3 and showing off? Gamescom Globe. No, I don't want a link, Kyla. I don't want a link. There's too many stuff. I just want the highlights, the best ones. Thank you, though. I'm going to click it. You sure you want to leave YouTube? Yeah? Go. That's our website. That's got lots of stuff. That's got lots of stuff. Does it take me to trailers if I click on the stuff? Too much stuff. Sea of Thieves. Come on now. Oh, Behemoth was there. Very nice. I'm gonna watch that in a minute. Ban Dave Mac. Dave Mac's asking me to damn. Everyone's asking me to damn everyone. Dave Mac was asking me to damn Demon Hunter, and you're asking me to damn Dave Mac. Is it cyclical? Is Demon Hunter going to turn on Connor now? First Berserker Kazan looks sick. Gorgeous cel-shaded Souls-like with a dark story. So previous trailers for that, I always thought looked a little bit weird. I thought the characters and the scenery didn't quite mesh. So I'm going to look at that one. John. Oh, Jesus. Wait, I didn't say that. I never do that. I've searched for Kazana 2, apparently. I can't reach my keyboard. Unveil the Universe 2 weeks ago. First 15 minutes of gameplay 2 weeks ago. Searched in the wrong place, that's what I've done. Wukong, do you know? I've not played Wukong. I saw Dave Mac playing it a bit yesterday and it looked pretty good. It did look pretty good. I just, Dave Mac was basically repeatedly dying in a pond. I think was a fair take on what was happening. But I liked that the pond rippled and splashed as he fell face first into it and died over and over and over again. Overcooked? What do you mean overcooked? Can Overcooked be a community game? Isn't Overcooked is only 4 people, isn't it? And haven't we played it before? And didn't you hate it? I think you did hate it. I think we did play it on a stream and you didn't have fun. Oh, that was the other Dave Mac. Okay, Dave Mac, I understand. I'm wrong. That's not a thing that happens, Isla. Come on. Right, Kazan. First Berserker, new weapon, showcase gameplay. Here we go. This is what we're looking at. Without any sound, because we've got a soundtrack playing already. Okay, so like this trailer right now, obviously this is cutscene cinematic thing, but it doesn't look as weird as the first 2 trailers did. I think the first two trailers they showed, though, they were more of a snowy background. And it didn't quite fit for me. But this one, everything's more cohesive. So maybe. I'm going to give it a maybe. There are an awful lot of games where you lock on and dodge and hit. Which is obviously not a very fair thing to say. There's an awful lot of games where you aim a gun and shoot your enemies as well. So certain things are timeless and keep repeating. But you know what I mean? There's a strong familiarity in everything. It isn't necessarily bad, as long as it does it well. Okay, seen enough of that one. It's not like high on my radar, but maybe. What the fuck is this? Dave Mac, come on now. Yeah, you can hit the thumbs up if you want. You don't have to. It's fine. I'm not trying to grow the channel, or well, I guess the channel. It's nice if that grows for everybody's sake, but I'm not chasing numbers of any kind. So you do whatever you feel. There's a closed beta test for the first Berserker on console later this year. You're hoping to get in. I don't do betas as if I can help it. I guess this is exactly the kind of game where I should do it because I'm not sure if I want it or not. I'm not sure if I want to buy it or not, so trying it, taking that opportunity would be worthwhile. Betas that I really avoid, I just do not touch, are for games that I know that I want. So actually it would be quite reasonable to try and play this one because I don't know if I want it. I'm still watching it. You're not. I'm being selfish. I'll bring it back for a sec. He's hitting a guy and the guy's bleeding. His head's bleeding everywhere and he's out. So maybe. There's nothing in this trailer, like it's not doing anything wrong. There's no reason for me not to like what I'm seeing. But there are a lot of games that call to me more. So we shall see. We shall see. Looks similar to Black Myth, yes, in a sense. Obviously not visually, but Painful Discourse. Come on now, you can't get away with it with an extra N. I would hope so. Episode 13. This isn't directly though. It's not directly the Jet Set Radio music. It's a remix, as used in another game. It's a remix. It's not the same track. I don't think. None of the others are an exact track from a game. So this is a remix. It's not Bomber Cyberpunk. No, this is actual Jet Set Radio music remix. It's not in Jet Set Radio. At least none of the other tracks that we've heard today have been directly taken from the game that they sound like in that way. Remixes. Remixes. I don't know. Episode 13. I'm giving you such a massive hint. Such a massive hint. It's the same. That's what I mean. This one is also, but it's not a different track, episode 13. This is the same track that you were just listening to. You have heard what was multiple tracks in Jet Set Radio blended into one remix, which is how you know that it's not actually Jet Set Radio. You hear what I'm saying? Please tell me you hear what I'm saying. We have definitely done this before, Riley, yeah. I've not actually done new backgrounds and new soundtracks. Actually, I had a new soundtrack last time, a couple of weeks ago, but I typically don't. I know it sounds like Jet Set Radio, fuck's sake. You're making me swear in front of the 14-year-old, episode 13. Come on. Come on. Joe, I'm sorry if your sleepy child overheard. Tell me more, Gamescom, because that first Berserker Kazan game, however you say it. That's not the only game from Gamescom. Tell me more. Cullen Prime, how's it going? How's it going? Dave Mac, is this the music General listens and dances to when he showers? You'd have to ask Chronic. Really? I think Chronic probably knows. It's not just you that he's watching with your Chinese food. I think Chronic's got tabs on everyone. Episode 13's getting angry. Ricardo, how's it going? How's it going? Age of Mythology. This is not the music from Age of Mythology. Was Age of Mythology at Gamescom? Did they show it? That's a game that I will play some. It's on the list that you saw. I'm gonna have a look to see what they showed. Can we watch the trailer? I can watch the trailer. You can watch the trailer. But while I bring it up, Age of Mythology retold. Gamescom. The world premiere trailer. That doesn't make sense. Like, it does make sense. But here we go. Here comes the trailer. Okay. Are you satisfied? Is this the Age of Mythology that you remember? But more zoomed in. Arcantos, yes. Calm yourself. So what's your plan when this comes out, Isla? What are you going to play? Are you going to jump into an infinite skirmish where you can just resource farm until the map runs out? Or are you going to try and get through the campaign stuff? Dave Mac, you need to go play Wukong. You can do that. I'm not offended if you go play Wukong. Did you beat the guy in the water? Like the lizardy fish guy? Or are you still just going to be like dying in that pond? Age of Mythology retold. Coming soon. You're going to do the campaign. Oh, you get up to 7 days early access with the premium edition. That's even more early days than you get on the other games. You did beat him easy. After you got out of the bell tower. Your brother went to Gamescom in Germany. You wish you could have. Yeah. Yeah. Could be fun. What else? So Age of Mythology and First Berserker, they were the only games at Gamescom. I am satisfied with that list. Ricardo, I'm alright. Path of Exile 2 had a great showing. Let's have a look at that. Path of Exile 2, that's is it already playable? Have they done the whole early access thing? Path of Exile 2 Gamescom trailer. This remake is influenced or is from Jet Set Radio. Fuck me. Episode 13. Come on now. Come on now. Okay, Path of Exile had a console trailer 2 months ago. That's not what I'm looking for. 4 days ago. Game Awards channel. Rather not. But we'll go to GameSpot, which I'd also rather not. Here it comes. As you attempted to get early access for what? Wait, don't look at the bar. Who makes Jet Set Radio? No one, Island. Nobody makes Jet Set Radio anymore. So, what did I miss? So, Baz, you were tempted to get the early access for what? What, Age of Mythology? Are you a massive Age of Mythology fan? What am I watching? I forgot. Oh, Path of Exile. The thing that most puts me off of Path of Exile is that it's a free-to-play game, so no, just don't trust the way that it'll be monetized as you get into it. Don't trust free-to-play games. I know that they can be done right and they can be done fairly, and a lot of people would tell me that this is one of them, but I've never looked into it to really understand the model. It looks a lot better than Diablo 4 though. in terms of just having much more dynamic movement. Like, basically, I'm just happy because the characters are rolling, and everybody knows that I'm really sad that I can't roll in Diablo 4. So, yeah. Path of Exile 2 fixes that problem, lets you roll as much as you like from the looks of that. Was I ever a cigarette smoker? No, I'm just coughing for the last couple of weeks. But no, never really a smoker. God, that coffee is gone. Dave Mack, I'm going to make another one to spite you in the near future. It's smart, it's bad for you. Yes, yeah, some people still do. I don't know. I made the fortunate mistake of smoking when I was like 10 or something stupid like that. And realizing very quickly that I didn't enjoy that. Never really going back to it, so... yeah. Plus, yeah, I've had a lot of grandparents and stuff die of the old lung cancer and things, so my parents have always been quite adamant. And I know typically what your parents are adamant about isn't what really dictates what you do and don't do. But there were some things that you could tell would just hurt them if you did it. Smoking was that for my parents. Smoking would hurt them. So. Quit 4 years ago, think about it all the time, it's so stupid. Like a lot of people fall into it, don't they? So don't be too hard on yourself. So, what else was there? That's it, that's enough of Gamescom, isn't it? No, I want to see Behemoth, because I saw on the front page Behemoth was there. That is a game that I'm very much looking forward to. So I just want to see that trailer for my own sake. Wait there, everyone. If you don't care about this game, that's fine. I do. I want to see it. 2 days ago, Skydance is being... well, no, wrong channel. What's FGS? What does it stand for? I don't like to give views to channels that are slimy. But this one might not be. I don't know. Don't know. No, they're not a publisher. Skydance must have the trailer. I'm going to find Skydance's channel. Skydance. 2 months ago, 3 weeks ago, 1 year ago. No, Skydance, why haven't you got your own latest trailer? Fuck it, okay, FGS, you win this round, whoever you are. Better not be dickheads. Dragon Age 4 Veilguard combat video is awesome. Good. Riley, you've got time to go to the toilet. Yes. Yes, you have. Oh. Nope. What? Do. I don't know what your mum's talking about and why she would have that conversation with you in the first place. Very unusual, but you know. Dave Mac, I'm gonna play Elden Ring, damn it. Isla, I read something wrong. Ah, to go to the... oh, I see. Right. Response to the same thing that I just noticed. Understood. So this is Behemoth. There is the PC version of it. A future game show. This isn't... oh, it is Gamescom. Okay. Oh no, I fell off of the big Jar Jar Binks thing. Okay, that wasn't actually a good trailer. I was told that there was a good trailer here. That wasn't it. That was a terrible trailer. That game looked brilliant in previous trailers. That one was nothing. Nonetheless, November that game comes out. I hope I've got a VR headset by then. Oh, I hope so. Yes, Goggle Pro, that is a VR game. I don't think the video... oh, if the video was... okay, that makes sense. If that was one that has an actual... like, you can play it in a VR headset. I don't like that kind of video, so... I don't rate it as an idea. Like VR videos where you're not able to actually look around, those are disgusting. They're disgusting. Nonetheless. You said it to your dad, okay. Does your dad like coffee? Is she forcing your dad to drink coffee for that reason? That classic PlayStation Shadow of the Colossus, yeah, it's, a lot of people say it's like Shadow of the Colossus. But see, I've not actually done Shadow of the Colossus, but as far as I know, Shadow of the Colossus had only the boss battles. So it had the Colossi, I suppose, roaming around, and you traversed the landscape and then you got to them and had those encounters. But it didn't have much else, whereas this Behemoth game is filled with like blade and sorcery style combat in between. Yeah, Dragon's Dogma has lots of climbing creatures if you want to, doesn't it? This one, very much the Behemoths are very Shadow of the Colossus in terms of scale and encounter mechanics, I guess. But it does have normal person-sized enemies to have proper combat with as well, like Blade and Sorcery, which I adore. I love Blade and Sorcery. So Behemoth looks brilliant. Must have VR by the time that comes out. That's a game I'm actually looking forward to. Right, I think I'm done with Gamescom. There must have been other stuff there that was interesting. I know Indiana Jones was there, right? That got people talking because of the whole PlayStation thing, but I assume the trailer looked good. I can't be asked to watch it though. Can't be asked to watch it. I'm only excited about Behemoth. Something wrong with me. My marketing cycle hype is not there. I don't love Dungeons of Eternity. Was that at Gamescom? Dungeons of Eternity's been out for ages. What do you mean, Chronic? I don't love Dungeons of Eternity as much as I love Blade and Sorcery. But I've only played Dungeons of Eternity once, and I played with Tony, and Tony's usually quite good at games. He wasn't good at Dungeons of Eternity, so that was cute. I enjoyed that. But we'll play that soon. I don't have the VR at the moment, as you know. When I have that, it's a little bit cursed because, as you know, like my scheduling has changed quite a bit over the last month. But I had resolved to playing VR in the afternoons and the weekend. So there'll be some Saturdays where I'm out kicking people or whatever else. But ordinarily, if I'm home, then Saturday and Sunday we're going to have some VR, be it stuff that was streamed or be it multiplayer stuff with the community or whatever. I was just like, yeah. I'm playing VR in the afternoons on these days. And I picked up the VR headset to do the first weekend where I had this plan. Stuck it on my face and it didn't work. So it is still the plan if I ever manage to get my VR back. And Dungeons of Eternity is very much on the list of things to do, Chronic. So don't panic, we'll get there. You can argue there was also a bit of Towerborn news and controversy surrounding the release. What is the controversy? Is the early access not coming to Xbox or something like that? Towerborn. Or a beta or some kind of thing. So 3 days ago, from the Xbox channel, here is Towerborn. I like this style. This is much more pleasant than pixel art that took the world by storm. Give me nice, crisp, cel-shaded art or whatever. I'll take it. Ban Tony, he keeps telling you that he's going to play Hunt with you, but then you don't. Tony's away for this weekend, so there's no point in banning him. He's banned himself. He's off doing family things. I'm sure he does intend to play Hunt with you, though. Okay, so... like a flying strawberry thing. Is that what the controversy is all about? Are people upset by the flying strawberry? I know this game is supposed to have like a seasonal ongoing content structure and all that kind of stuff, which I don't necessarily need for the game. I don't necessarily want this to be a game that I play forever. I think I'd be quite satisfied if it just had a distinct campaign that you could blast through in co-op, but, you know, that doesn't mean that I'm not looking forward to it. Hellborn looks good, you love the animation style, it's very colourful. Yeah, all of those things are true, and it's very crisp, and, you know, it looks like there's a fair amount of depth to it. So, early access begins September the 10th. Wait, I missed it. This is probably... Early access. Begins September the 10th on Steam. Limited time exclusive on Steam. Alright. That is an unusual decision because Steam don't do that as like marketing deals, do they? Steam don't make marketing deals. I say it's free to play. I liked Castle Crashers. Never played Gauntlet Dark Legacy, I don't think. Or if I did, I don't particularly remember it. I'm not thrilled that it's free to play. I'm not. As I said earlier, it's not my favourite. My favourite kind of model. I don't want to have to buy that stupid floating strawberry. But I'm not like dismayed at it either. But why is it controversial? It's this early access, right? People are upset that the Steam version can be played before the rest. I'm alright with that. I still haven't played like No Rest for the Wicked or even Hades 2 I haven't played because I'm not an early access kind of person. So same is likely to be true with Towerborn. It'll come to early access on Steam and I will ignore it as best I can. Unless people insist on multiplayer play, it's the only thing that can draw me in. Don't want to miss the wave of popularity, but besides that I can resist the urge to jump in early. Chronic, you need full control over Tony in the Discord. Don't we all? Don't we all? He's alright. He's a good lad, is Tony. He buys me various gifts every now and again. What more could I ask? Yeah, I'm done. Let's do the questions. Did anybody put any questions in? First question is coming up. It is from Isla. You should look at the Realm story sometime. You post good stuff in there. The Minecraft Realm that we have is the only social media that I do use. I say that I've not actually looked yet, but I will see if I can use that as a substitute for Twitter and all the rest of it. You need to go, no worries. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah. Yeah, Realm story. So if you have Minecraft, if you like Minecraft, there is a Realm available for Nintendo and Xbox and PC and like all the different versions of Minecraft. You're able to join on that. You just need to get on the Discord and ask for an invitation to get one. Can I show it on the stream? No, I don't think I can. Because if I open the Xbox launcher to get to the Minecraft launcher, I think it's going to start downloading things and push the whole stream off. So probably not worth the risk. Can you get to the feed outside of Minecraft? Because it's a thing that they introduced relatively recently for people that don't know or care. If you go into Minecraft on a Realm, it's got essentially like a social media wall that you can use within the game, and I don't know if you can get to it outside of the game or not. You need a naughty cupboard to move Tony into. That's not actually a bad idea. He would live there though. You don't know. Okay. In that case, no, I probably can't safely bring it up on stream without taking down the show. Next question, please. I did tell you and everybody else that I will play Minecraft on stream soon to endeavour to actually learn how the game works, how you're supposed to play it properly, rather than just following you around. And that will happen soon. I also wanted to get into the world in VR though. I wanted to play it normally to make some stuff and then to explore VR style. And what is my favourite meal to cook? Gaming with Passion. I'm not a good cook, don't judge me. What do I like to cook? I don't know. I make bolognese quite frequently. I like making chili as well. But I'm not like an expert at it. I am an expert at it. Do some like egg fried ricey kind of things as well. I'm not an expert cook, but I cook once or twice a week, probably. Once or twice a week, and usually the same odd things, but Discord is in the YouTube feed. Yes, the Discord is, if anybody is wondering what I'm talking about and wants to get onto the Discord. There is a link in the description. You can hit that and explore, and it is a nice place with good people that stream to each other and have lots of fun. It is 18 plus. We do need to clarify that little detail. Sorry for anyone that's not. Next question, please. Gaming with passion. What do you cook? You're always putting like actually really nice and pretty healthy looking foods around. Gaming with passion. Did I ever use VR for working out? Not like I've not done the specific dedicated workout apps that you get, which are like relatively popular niche within VR. But I sweat like a bastard. That counts as working out. I have a VR treadmill, so if I'm playing like Half-Life is a VR workout. If I'm running around on a treadmill to play it, Blade and Sorcery is a VR workout. If I'm running around. Arizona Sunshine 2 had me scrambling and sprinting away from zombies through a sewer, and I nearly died. Has anyone seen Tom? No, Tom's been... Yeah, Tom always used to come on with delicious food stories. He disappeared for a little while. He came back very briefly to say that he was like just trying to find a better balance of time engaging with Discord and stuff versus other things he needed to do. And he disappeared again for a while, so hopefully he'll be back. Hopefully he's doing well, but it has been a little while. And I've sent him a message on Discord to try and check on like him doing okay, but he hasn't answered. So hopefully he is. I'll see if I've got any other ways of getting hold of him at some point. You might text him. Have you got his number, Baz? I'm not asking you to give me his number because that would be vastly inappropriate. You know, I can't just start stealing people's phone numbers. But if you've got a way of contacting him, it would be good to know that he's doing all right. And what he's been cooking, obviously. Demon Hunter, have you ever used VR to work out? Are you looking to use VR to work out? Is that why you're asking? One of the things that I liked most about the Quest Pro versus any other headset that I've got is that it never felt like it was at risk of breaking from sweat, because it's like got that open design, so I could just sweat down it. Quite happy. He might have Baz, but it's a big like 100% absence. So just need to know he's doing good. He's doing all right, and then I'll be satisfied. So, next question, please. Mrs. Cat pictures too, of course. Joe, if my graphics card died tomorrow, what would I buy to replace it? A 4090, a 4080, or wait for the 50? Joe, I'm actually traumatized by the thought. Like, that's a devastating hypothetical. Alongside my VR being broken, I'd probably be a console gamer for a while. Probably be a console gamer until the 50 series came out. So let's hope that doesn't happen, eh? But thank you, I'm gonna have nightmares now. Yes, Baz, do check in on them. Words are difficult. I've not even had any wine today, and the words are not flowing. So now you know when my words start flowing all wrong on regular shows. I'm not drunk, I just can't talk. Can't talk for a prolonged period of time like this. You don't have a lot of time to cook these days. Yes, you do. You play a lot of games, and that counts as time to cook. And I'm not saying that you're making the wrong decision. I'm with you. Playing games is I would prioritize that as well, but you do have time. Living in fear of a 4090 fire. Yeah. At least a fire might be covered by some kind of insurance, you know, if you just let it burn for a while. Is Astrobot a day one buy for me? Already pre-ordered the physical game that comes with a poster and the controller. No, it's not. It's not a day one buy for me because I'm not that big on platformers. It's a probably get at some point for me. Obviously, nothing obvious about it. Like obviously I would get that straight away if it had the VR support that I would have hoped that an Astrobot game would have. It doesn't. I don't necessarily rate Astrobot as any different to like the Sackboy Big Adventure game, in that they play on the same, here's a generic chibi mascot thing. One's yarn and one's metallic-ish, but they're the same character to me. Doing a competent platformer and playing on PlayStation Heritage and Legacy, like that's nice. I liked the Astrobot game that came on the PlayStation 5. I played through it a bit. I say I played through it a bit, like I finished it, but I didn't seek out all the collectibles or anything like that. Just not that excited by it, and I know that that's not what people in the industry are projecting. Like there's massive excitement around that game, like it's the best thing ever. I'm alright. I will play it at some point. I don't hate it for being a platformer. It looks cool in some ways. I quite like the controller. I haven't played the Little Big Planet adventure game, whatever it's called. You know the one I mean. I can't remember what it's called, but that was also supposed to be quite a good platformer. And I might at some point. Astrobot's in the same position as that game for me. I will at some point. What's the sad face? Why is it a sad face? You missed Little Big Planet. Yeah, but I'm not talking about actual Little Big Planet. I'm talking about the platform game. You could see, well, Pikanagi, like, Astrobot was a VR game, right? On the PSVR, the first one. Astrobot Rescue Mission or whatever, and I'm not sure, but I thought that was the first Astrobot game. And then they did the Astrobot that came as the PlayStation 5 look what the controller can do experience or whatever, and that was a nice thing. I liked it. But it's a shame that this one's not a VR platformer. That would have been way more enticing. And it's like, I'm not down on it, I'm just not a big platformer person. So I might get to it at some point. Astrobot was cool for feature use. Yeah, it was a nice showcase of the controller. And it was a nice, like, homage to the PlayStation IP and stuff, right? Not even just stuff that Sony owned, but stuff that had significance in PlayStation history that was all well represented in that game. And it was kind of nice. Just not enough to make me spend 70 quid or whatever it cost. Psychonauts 2 was amazing, Gaming with Passion. That is a very good platformer, yeah. Which I didn't finish. Could do. Not enough people talk about it. Is that right? Is that right? Yeah, I enjoyed what I played of it, which was a reasonable amount. Maybe 8-10 hours, something like that I got into it. I'm suddenly extremely tired. Originally Astro was VR exclusive. You've been dreaming of an Astro 3D platformer, so it's definitely for you. Pikanagi, did you play the Little Big Planet one? With the name that I can't entirely remember. Like the Big Adventure. Some Sackboy's Big Adventure? That doesn't sound quite right, but you know the game that I mean. Whatever it was called. Did you play that? Was that any good? Chronic, you don't know... When it released, there was a lot of talk, especially as there were no PlayStation 5 version Gaming with Passion. There was talk around that in the usual kind of circles that care about such things, because the Xbox version is the only one that had the next gen, the Series X and S version, and it was the only version that had HDR as well. So there was talk about it in that sense, and there was a lot of talk about it because, as there always is, there was talk about the impact of Microsoft owning the studio and what it meant for the game. So there was a fair amount of talk like that. It was also very well rated and well received, as far as I can tell. But possibly, like it's probably fair to say that it was underplayed and underrepresented relative to other IPs that are more popular, because platform games don't usually do that well. Psychonauts 2 deserved to do very well, whereas it probably had a lot less players than your Halos and whatever else. Psychonauts did have a VR game as well, Gaming with Passion. It wasn't very good, and it didn't work with most VR headsets. It's playable now, but it wasn't like a good VR game in terms of the way that you interacted with it. It was like look at a certain place and press A to warp to it or whatever. It was a controller-based VR game. They do reference it. If you play Psychonauts 2, the story does continue on from the VR game. So it is like canon in Psychonauts timeline as an event that happened, but it wasn't particularly good. It's a cursed little bit of information that all of those studios that Microsoft were buying all did VR games before Microsoft bought them and destroyed the industry. Psychonauts had a VR game, Hellblade was a VR game, they did a VR port of it, but they put a good amount of effort into. Obviously all of Bethesda's stuff has VR versions. There's a VR Doom, there's a VR Wolfenstein, there's VR Skyrim, there's VR Fallout. Lollipop Chainsaw you're looking forward to playing when it releases. Very expensive to buy it on the Xbox 360 on eBay. I think the remake's going to be a disaster. Could be wrong, but curious to know. But I've seen various bits and pieces about like stripping out a lot of the stylization. So it's not so much that they're stripping out like jokes that might not land well anymore and things like that, but they're changing the presentation quite significantly as well. I'm not sure it's actually going to release very well at all, but we'll see. Who else did Microsoft buy that used to do VR stuff? I don't know. They sabotaged a lot as far as I'm concerned. But you know, that's just me. Forever bitter. Sackboy's Big Adventure, you haven't played it, but it's on your long backlog. So you think Returnal's on your backlog as well? Fair enough. You think Astrobot is better than Sackboy's Big Adventure from what you've seen of it? It may well be. But to me they are very similar. Lollipop Chainsaw, yeah, I don't remember it much. I did play through it as well. So I think that Microsoft intentionally sabotaged VR. Not intentionally, they didn't buy these studios for the sake of sabotaging VR. But they're buying those studios, one of the consequences of it was that those studios no longer worked on VR. Microsoft are in a position where they could have made a massive difference to what VR is and how it's received. And they didn't, and that's not to say they were mistaken. Like commercially, VR is just a massive waste of money for a big company to some degree. But they bought most of the studios that were doing big things in VR and then stopped those studios from doing things in VR. So that obviously didn't do VR any favors. James Gunn worked on Lollipop Chainsaw when he was unknown. Yeah, I can believe that. Nonetheless, I don't think the remake, remaster, whatever they're calling it, is going to shape up well. Obviously, hope that I'm wrong. Hope that it does come out surprisingly good. So, oh wait, there's another question. What do you think VR is now and in the future? Goggleplay, what do I think it is now? Brilliant, love it. Yeah, I'm it's very, very niche, and it deserves to be very, very niche. It is a lot more effort to get into than other kinds of gaming, but I see like a fairly clear scale between how easy something is to get into, like effort and reward, as it were. Because the easiest gaming to get into is something that you just download on your phone and play. Just hit a couple of buttons on your phone and you're playing it. You put a little bit more effort into it and you got a console. It's a much better experience than a phone, but it is more effort, more expense, more setup, more like hassle to actually be in a position to play it, to be at home and have a TV in front of you. Go a little bit beyond that and you got a PC. You want to invest even more money. You want to go through the flexibility on a PC, but it's more work as well. It's more in depth, and the reward is potentially like better experiences that you get on a console. VR is the far end of that scale where you put in a freaking ton of effort because you have to put a thing on your face, potentially stand up, go through all of the whole trouble of feeling sick and all the rest of it. But it's another level of reward as well because it's freaking awesome once you've got it and it's working well. So for me, that's fine. Like, it's got a place. I wish that it had a more sustainable ecosystem for developers, because it's just not economically viable to make a large-scale VR game. I wish that it was, but it's not. The future of it very much depends on push into augmented reality and stuff like that. I think VR has a place in the future as a medium for games. I think it will be more prominent than AR for games one day, but it is AR, augmented reality, that will carry the technology to a larger audience, and carry VR on its back to reach that larger audience. So I don't think it's going anywhere, but I don't think it's growing quickly either. So but I'm okay with that. I'm okay with just being like in a tiny minority that enjoys the technology. So, Sackboy looked like a fun but safe platformer that was emulating a lot of the style of the previous ones. Astro looks like it will have a lot more diverse worlds and powers, fun PlayStation references. I just assumed that the Sackboy game was full of PlayStation references. It may well not be, but the Little Big Planet games were. So I just assumed, because Sackboy is that kind of mascot that you can pin a Kratos beard on and call it a day. Astrobot is aesthetically very, very similar to Sackboy. So the potential was there to do the mascot thing with either of them. But whatever studio it is, Asobo they're called, isn't it? That did the Astrobot games have done very well in the games that they've made so far. So I understand the confidence in it being better. Played any non-digital games recently? No, Isla, I haven't. I'm very honest about all things. Have I not? No, none at all. None at all. Actually, multiple was the correct answer, but for the sake of right now, no, none at all. Chronic, they're giving you Alien VR. So long as that's good, you've got your perfect VR game, dodging facehuggers and alien pop jewels. It's not going to be a game that lasts forever in the way that like a racing game does, though. I hope that you love it, Chronic. Did you ever play Alien Isolation in VR? I haven't, but it's supposed to be very good with the mods. Apart from going up and down ladders, which they didn't quite. Alien Isolation is a weird one because it was an official mod that Sega were working on for it. Or Creative Assembly, I don't know which studio actually was working on it. Creative Assembly made the game, right? But it was published by Sega, as Creative Assembly are owned by Sega. But I don't know which arm were working on the VR version. It never saw a release, but it was made public in some capacity. And it was almost finished, so it was almost a proper VR game. But little details like ladders and things were a mess. You don't like hiding all the time, you just want to shoot stuff. And the one that's coming to Quest does look like it features a bit more shooting, doesn't it? So, I get it. I think Behemoth's going to be better. Are you looking forward to Batman as well? Yeah, you must be. I didn't look at that trailer yet. Should do. It's my scariest horror VR experience. Anything in VR is scary. They should make an Alien Isolation VR port. You know it's modded. Yeah, but the mod was the port that they were like 80-90% of the way through completing. So it was close to being an official version. Batman's going to be a sale game for you. Interesting. What about the Hitman game? That's another Quest 3 exclusive, isn't it? I'm gonna look at the Batman trailer actually, because I haven't yet. Remind me what it's called. It's Arkham Shadow or Shadows or something, isn't it? Batman Arkham Gamescom will do it, won't it? Arkham Shadow. Because I think they had a trailer at the last one or some gameplay, didn't they? They promised it was coming at Gamescom. Batman Arkham Videos official channel. That'll do. Let's go there. I haven't seen this yet, and obviously being one of the few fans of VR, I should have a look. Is that the game? With some bullshit over the top. This is I've gone to the wrong place. Wait there, everybody. I don't want to see this version of it with giant subtitles from some dickhead. Get out, dickhead. I want just the trailer. Where is it? I'm gonna have to go to the freaking Game Awards channel. Fine. No. No. You know this is one of his because it's got this stupid text in the top right. Get off the stage. Don't want to see you. I want to see the trailer. Why? Not massive preamble. Piss off. Okay, here we go. Demon Hunter, you're looking forward to it. Grapple hook movement, very sensible. Very sensible way of handling motion. Although there is some walking as well, so everyone is going to throw up. Good. Good. Sensible blur lines. That'll make a few less people show up. Sprinting lines. So, this game is it's Quest 3 exclusive. There's no Steam VR version. There's no Quest 2 version, but what they are showing is running on that little mobile hardware. It looks very adequate, right? This is good enough to, if you have that headset on your face and you're in this world, this is solid enough. Obviously, if you compare it against a PlayStation 5 Series X kind of Unreal Engine 5 game, it's not going to come up well in a side-by-side, but it's not a side-by-side. This is a VR game running natively on a Quest, and it looks actually really good. Oh, I want to play this. Yes, like cowards and wankers stealth, but VR is a reasonable trade-off. Wonder how long it is. Don't know how long I want it to be. I haven't done Asgard's Wrath 2 yet, but that seems to be too long from what I've seen. Nonetheless, I will do that when I get a Quest 3 eventually. Eventually. Okay, I've now seen that. I want it. Do I have Apple Vision? No, I'm not rich. Come on now. I thought when I lost my VR headset, like a month ago, I thought, you know what? I need a new phone as well. I'm going to have a little glance at the Apple ecosystem, see just how expensive this Apple Vision thing is right now, see if it's a viable route to explore. £3,700, something stupid like that. No, I don't have a Vision Pro. I will not be getting a Vision Pro. Damn thing doesn't even have controllers. Apple is stupid. You know, all hope is on Meta's shoulders at the moment. Not great for gaming. It's supposed to have like the nicest of displays available at the moment in a VR headset. Well, if you can call it a VR headset, which you Apple wouldn't want you to, but it doesn't have controllers, so it's not going to be brilliant for gaming. It's a shame because if it was actually made as a gaming device, it's got better onboard hardware than anything else has. So they could have made some real nice looking native games on it if they wanted to, but Apple gonna Apple and do whatever the hell they want to do with it. And it is not on my list of things that I want. Why isn't Tony here now? He's off doing family stuff for the weekend. He's away for a few days. What happened to the Microsoft augmented VR headset HoloLens? They sold it to US military and pretty much canned the operation entirely outside of that. They still have contracts with the military, so they are still making and supporting it in that sense, but as a commercial product, I think it's more or less dead. I'm not sure why, really. Not sure why they killed it in that way, because I think they were making decent headway with them making it like a usable product. The military were like they gave them a harsh list of things to improve before they were going to actually extend their contracts and use it or whatever, because it was making soldiers sick. They were using it for training and exercises and whatever else. Very expensive, yes, but they did commit to fixing all of those issues that the military highlighted. So they probably do actually have a very competent, very capable device in the background somewhere that they won't let the public get their hands on. Which is a shame though, because it's the kind of thing where, yeah, it would be expensive and non-viable for a while, but also, like, there's not really anybody else playing in that holographic space, and it was an interesting technology that would have been nice to see develop. So, who knows? Who knows if it'll come back in any form one day or not? Wouldn't have been more expensive than the Apple Vision Pro, right? But also wouldn't have had people buying it for bragging rights like the Apple Vision Pro. So, you meant the Apple slander. He knew it was obviously okay. Fair enough. I understand. That was it. That was the last question. So this extra short show wasn't actually all of that. All that short. What we're going to do though is various people have said they might want to do some games. If you want to play some games, go on Discord and say what you want to play, and we'll try and get something together in about 30 minutes time, because I'm going to go and I'm not going to do very much. So 30 minutes is kind of realistic. Maybe we'll get something started in that time. Most of your cars have been cheaper than the Apple Vision Pro, yeah. My cars are pretty expensive this week, bastards. My wife's car and my car have both needed like service MOTs, shit changing on them this week. And it's taken away any hope of getting a Quest 3 that I might have had. Yeah, is what it is. Anyway, that's the end for now. So thank you for coming by. I know I had a nothing week last week. Brought this one back now, and hopefully, if all goes according to plan, there will be more streams and things over the next few days, and more things ongoing from there. Yeah. Thanks, and I will see you in the Discord and on some other games and things that are going on. Don't thank me, it's all good. Blech.